Hello, welcome back. Artemis launches to the moon today, and here on Picture Perfect Greek we are going to learn the Greek vocabulary for all that. First we have the news in Greek. I will read you the Greek text, then we will translate it, and at the end we have a quiz so that you can make sure that you understand everything. And as always, if you want to have the written text, then please go to my Substack, holidaygreek.substack.com, and you will find all the texts and vocabulary lists there. So let's begin. We do the Greek text first. Αύριο ξεκινά η αποστολή του διαστημοπλοίου Artemis. Ένα σημαντικό βήμα για την επιστροφή του ανθρώπου στη σελήνη. Η εκτόξευση θα πραγματοποιηθεί από το Κέντρο Διαστημικών Πτήσεων στη Φλόριντα και θα μεταδοθεί ζωντανά σε όλο τον κόσμο. Οι επιστήμονες ελπίζουν ότι η αποστολή αυτή θα ανοίξει το δρόμο για μελλοντικές βάσεις στη σελήνη και αργότερα για ταξίδια στον Άρη. Η αποστολή Artemis δεν είναι μόνο τεχνολογικό επίτευγμα, αλλά και σύμβολο συνεργασίας μεταξύ χωρών. Χιλιάδες μηχανικοί και ερευνητές εργάστηκαν για χρόνια ώστε να γίνει πραγματικότητα. Το ενδιαφέρον του κοινού είναι μεγάλο, καθώς η σελήνη παραμένει πηγή έμπνευσης και περιέργειας για την ανθρωπότητα. The text. Now let's translate and discuss it. Αύριο ξεκινά. Tomorrow begins. Ξεκινώ means to begin something, to start. Η αποστολή. The mission. Αποστολή is the mission, comes from apo, from, and στέλνω, to send. To send someone from somewhere is a mission. Του διαστημοπλοίου. Διαστημοπλοίου, διάστημα, is the space, and it is the space in all common meanings of the word, also the space between two things. You have two pens on your desk and they are 1 centimeter apart, so that's the space between them. And this is also a diastema in Greek. It's also a space in time, the 2 minutes between you stopping your car and getting out of it. This is a diastema, a χρονικό διάστημα, a space in time. So the diastema is the space, but it's also, of course, that space where Artemis is going. And plio is the ship. Plio is a very common way to talk about ships. And so a diastimoplio is a space ship, literally. Artemis is a goddess, a Greek goddess of the ancient Greek pantheon of gods. And I will make another video perhaps tomorrow talking about Artemis. Now we continue. Αύριο ξεκινάει η αποστολή του διαστημοπλοίου Artemis. This was what we just discussed. Ένα σημαντικό βήμα. An important step. Σημαντικό, we had multiple times now. Important, βήμα is the step. Για την επιστροφή, for the return, and we also talked about return, I think in yesterday's video. Επιστροφή. Strophy is the turn. It's the bend in the road when you turn around, and so epistrophe is the return to anthropu, of humans, of humanity, of the human, literally here, sti selini. Selini is the moon as an astronomical object. There are two words for moon. There is selini and there is fengari. Fengari comes from fengo, which means to shine, to produce light in the night. And fengari we say when we mean it not so much as an astronomical object, but as a feature of the night sky that gives off light. So when you want the romantic aspect, or you want to say you're writing a poem to the moon, or you just went out and it was a beautiful night by the beach with the moon shining, then you would mention the fengari most likely, while the selini is the more official name that is used in an astronomical context. Η εκτόξευση. Εκτόξευση is the launch, θα πραγματοποιηθεί, will be performed, will take place, will be realized. Pragma is the thing, and πραγματοποιηθεί, the PEC, means to create something. So a thing will be created. This is what πραγματοποιηθεί means, literally. This thing will be created, this thing will be done, it will be established, it will take place. Από, from, το κέντρο, the center, διαστημικών, again, space, πτήσεων, πτήση is the flight, στην Florida, in Florida. Και θα μεταδοθεί, and it will be broadcast. Μεταδοθεί is also a nice word because it comes from meta, after or continuing, and δοθεί comes from δίνω, to give. So it will be given on, it will pass on. And this is the word for broadcast because you're passing the broadcast on through multiple intermediate stations. And so this is what μεταδοθεί means, to be given on, to be transmitted, right? Literally, it will be transmitted. Ζωντανά, live. Ζωντανός means alive in the biological sense. Σε όλο τον κόσμο, in all the world or around the world. Οι επιστήμονες, the scientists. Επιστήμη is the science, επιστήμονες are the scientists. Ελπίζουν, they hope. Ότι that. Αποστολή, this mission. Αυτή, this mission, η αποστολή αυτή, θα ανοίξει, will open, τον δρόμο, the way or the street, for, για, μελλοντικές βάσεις. Μέλλον is the future. It's not the friend, as you might expect if you're a Tolkien fan. In Greek, μέλλον is the future. So, μελλοντικές, future, βάσεις, bases, which is the same word as in English, vasi and base, στη σελήνη, on the moon, και αργότερα, and later, για ταξίδια, for journeys, ταξίδι is the journey, στον Άρη, to Mars. And Ares is Mars, another Greek god, the god of war, and the planet was named after him because it appears red. It has red dust, and so the planet appears reddish in the sky or in telescopes. And so when they named it after the god of war, because war, of course, is associated with blood and with red, with the color red. And Mars is the Roman equivalent of the Greek Ares. So for all these 12 gods, there's always a Greek version and a Roman version. The Romans essentially had the same religion. They just renamed the gods with Latin, names, but they kept the same properties. So Ares and Mars are the same person, the same god. Only one is named in Greek and one is named in Latin. Η αποστολή, Artemis, the Artemis mission, then είναι μόνο, is not only, τεχνολογικό, technological, επίτευγμα, achievement. And technology comes from techni, which is the art, and this is also where artificial comes from. So these are things that are not natural, but they are created through human art, artifacts. And technologiko means techni, art, and logiko comes from logic or logos, which is the study, the science, the speech also. And so it means technological, επίτευγμα, achievement. Αλλά, but also, αλλά και, σύμβολο, the symbol of συνεργασίας, cooperation. And this comes from syn, which is a common prefix meaning and, with, and εργασία, work. So cooperation is the together work, the cooperative work, συνεργασία. Μεταξύ, between, χωρών, countries. It's a genitive of χώρα, which is the country. And again, don't confuse it with choros, which means the space, often the indoor space, and choros, which is the dance. Χιλιάδες μηχανικοί. Χιλιάδες, thousands of μηχανικοί, mechanics. So this means engineers in this case, but it's the same word, mechanics. So your car mechanic is a mechanikos. The engineer who is building your house is a mechanikos, a politikos mechanikos, often called in Greek, is the engineer who has a special license for approving building plans for houses, for buildings. And it is also any other kind of engineer. Χιλιάδες μηχανικοί, thousands of engineers, και ερευνητές. Ερευνητής is the researcher. Έρευνα is the research. Εργάστηκαν, they worked, για χρόνια, for years, ώστε να γίνει πραγματικότητα, so that it could become reality. Ώστε, so that, να γίνει, to become πραγματικότητα, reality, and again comes from pragma, which is the thing. So it becomes a thing, literally. It becomes real. Το ενδιαφέρον, the interest, του κοινού, of the public, είναι μεγάλο, is great. And κοινό is the public, is also the audience. If you are in a cinema or a theater production, the κοινό is the audience. So it's the public in many different senses. Καθώς, while, η σελήνη, the moon, παραμένει, remains. Παραμένω means to remain. Included there is the word μένω, to stay put somewhere. Πηγή. Πηγή is the source. And it is the source in terms of water, literally, but it is also the source of something metaphorically, like here. Πηγή έμπνευσης, inspiration. And έμπνευση is a very nice word. It comes from pneuma. Pneuma is where pneumonia, for example, comes from, is the breath, but it's also the spirit in the modern sense. In Latin, spirit has the same two meanings. You talk of aspiration, which means literally to breathe in. Aspiration is also what you want for your future, right? You aspire to become, let's say, a doctor or something, and then this is also an aspiration, but literally it means breath. And so when you say, I am inspired, it means literally I'm taking in a breath, which is the breath of God, the Holy Spirit, right? Which is the holy breath that goes into you and then enables you to do things. So this connection between spirit and breath is both in Latin and in our modern languages, Western languages, in English and so on, coming from Latin. And it's the same in ancient Greek. En means in, and pneuma is the breath or the spirit. So σελήνη παραμένει πηγή έμπνευσης. It stays a source of inspiration. Και περιέργειας. And περιέργεια is the curiosity. Για την ανθρωπότητα. For ανθρωπότητα is humanity. Anthropos is the human being. Anthropότητα is humanity. Okay, many interesting pieces of vocabulary here. We have αποστολή, the mission, διαστημόπλιο, the spaceship, εκτόξευση, the launch, πραγματοποιείται, takes place, μεταδίδεται ζωντανά, is broadcast live. Επιστήμονες are the scientists, επίτευγμα is the achievement, συνεργασία is the cooperation, ερευνητές are the researchers, and περιέργεια is the curiosity. Go back if you need to listen to the whole thing another time. Second time will be easier. The more often you listen to it, the better it remains in your memory. And now let's do a small quiz. I will give you English phrases and you translate them to Greek. Stop this video or the recording after I tell you the English so that you have enough time to answer. I will put a break in there, but everybody needs different amounts of time. So if my break is not long enough, then stop it for a moment. Tomorrow begins. How do you say tomorrow begins something? Tomorrow begins is αύριο ξεκινά. Αύριο ξεκινά. You can also say ξεκινάει. It's also okay. put an epsilon iota at the end. Is a different form of it. Both are very common. Αύριο ξεκινά, αύριο ξεκινάει. The mission. How do you say the mission? Η αποστολή. Η αποστολή. How do you say the spaceship Artemis? Το διαστημόπλοιο Artemis. How do you say an important step? An important step. Ένα σημαντικό βήμα. Ένα σημαντικό βήμα. How do you say the launch of a rocket? The launch of a rocket is η εκτόξευση. Η εκτόξευση. How do you say something will be broadcast live? Θα μεταδοθεί ζωντανά. Θα μεταδοθεί ζωντανά. How do you say the scientists hope? The scientists hope. Οι επιστήμονες ελπίζουν. Οι επιστήμονες ελπίζουν. How do you say future bases on the moon? Future bases on the moon. Μελλοντικές βάσεις στην σελήνη. Μελλοντικές βάσεις στην σελήνη. How do you say thousands of engineers and researchers? Thousands of engineers and researchers. Thousands of engineers and researchers is χιλιάδες μηχανικοί και ερευνητές. Χιλιάδες μηχανικοί και ερευνητές. How do you say something becomes reality? Something becomes reality is γίνεται πραγματικότητα. Γίνεται πραγματικότητα. How do you say public interest? Public interest is το ενδιαφέρον του κοινού. Το ενδιαφέρον του κοινού. And now last one, saying Greek, a source of inspiration. A source of inspiration is πηγή έμπνευσης. Πηγή έμπνευσης. And with this we are finished. I remind you, there is this Substack where you can find all the vocabulary. Please go there if you want to practice more and to have all the written materials. Thank you, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.